And there's lots of talk at the moment and lots of noise about Fashion Sakala maybe heading. Well, he came from Belgium and going back to France. Maybe Auxerre, who I think have got themselves back into Ligue 1. And I mean, what Rangers don't want is numbers, just numbers for the sake of numbers. And that could be where he comes into it. They're bringing in some attacking players, Kenny, and maybe it's not going to be him in the squad next season.
It's looking that way, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, he found game time tough to come by, and I still really don't know what is it. Is he a winger? Is he a number 9? I think he was brought.
I think he proved he wasn't a number 9, didn't he,
but
last season?
I think if you asked him, he might say that's the position he wants to play in. But he found, I think, his best or his most effective times was probably coming off the bench and maybe playing on that right hand side. It seemed to suit him a little bit more. But when you go through the list of players who could potentially be playing in that, I mean, there's only one real winger slot available when you've got Ryan Kent. So Ryan Kent, you've got him on the left, and between Lawrence and Matondo, new signings, you've still got Wright, you've got Hadji, you've got young Alex Lowry who can play, you've got Scotty Arfield who can play off that and has played off that side of the pitch as well. So it's no surprise to see him still getting linked with a move away, because as much as he found probably game time and minutes few and far between this year or last season, it's probably going to be the same again or even worse this year. So, and that's a reason why I think when Aribo's went as well, there is a lot of numbers in there. And again, Joe Aribo playing off the right hand side, for me, I don't think that's his favoured position. He would probably rather be more central in an attacking midfield role. So it's no surprise to see him move on. And again, the players that have came in, Tom Lawrence could probably play in that maybe more attack midfield role. If you were playing with a Ryan Jack maybe and a Lundstrom as kind of maybe a two more quieter disciplined ones, having Tom Lawrence, a Ryan Kent and maybe a Hadji or an Arfield or a Matondo off the right, I think that gives you, there's really, really good options and flexibility within the players that we've mentioned.
Yeah, when you flash those names around, it begins to sound like a really deep Rangers squad, just as we've been saying in the case of Celtic and all those players competing for the various positions. The same message would be very applicable to Rangers when you reel off all those names, both new and old.
That's it, and then you throw obviously your number 9s, Morelos, Cholak and Kamar Roof as well. There is, I mean, that's probably about 10 names we've thrown there. It could play anywhere in the front three positions if it's the 4-3-3, or if Gio maybe went with a 4-2-3-1, which are quite similar formations, but you could maybe get an extra attacking player in the team if you played that way. So there's plenty of numbers, plenty of cover. I do like the look of the way it's shaping up, and I think it was Craig who was talking about a gap between Celtic and Rangers, or Rangers. For me, there's no gap between the teams. It's who's going to be the most consistent, like it was this year. Celtic were the most consistent team over the course of the season. Their performances after 3-4 games in were sensational, and they took the league, so it's up to Rangers to wrestle that back. But both teams are really, really well matched.